Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Make It Happen Monday. My name's Kimberly Beer, and I hope you're ready to do one thing for your business this week that'll help move you forward. This week, what I wanted to talk about was this fun little menu that Facebook has added to your Facebook page. Now, they actually did this a couple of months ago, and typical in Facebook world, they sort of rolled it out. Over time. So your page may not have changed right away, or it may have changed right away. But most of the businesses that I know haven't gone back in and even fiddled with this particular list, or even knows exactly how to accomplish that. So our goal today, or our goal for this week, is to get you back into your Facebook page and to work on this specific menu. Now, I do recommend that you update other things on your Facebook page routinely, and in the coming weeks I will make some of those a priority for Make It Happen Monday. But for today, don't get distracted with the timeline cover or your icon. Let's focus on this particular menu, and this menu is the menu over here that I want to talk about. Now, before I even dive into how you're going to go about changing that, I do want to remind you that your Facebook page is not like a website. In general, people only come to your Facebook page to like your page. And that's not even a necessity if you've run a like campaign. They don't even need to come here to like your page. So the actual number of humans that witness this page in present time is often very minimal. There are times when people come back, and the ones that do come back here are usually very interested in your business. They're wanting to show it to a friend, or they're wanting to see if they missed any posts. I mean, the whole secret about EdgeRank is out to the entire world, so we all know that we don't see everything. And if there's a specific brand that we as a consumer are interested in, we'll tend to drop back by their page. So understand the type of visitor that's coming to this page. It's usually someone who's very highly interested in what you're doing, but it's not the mass majority of people who like your business, and they don't return very often. So it's a good idea to keep this information up to date, but it's also don't kick yourself if you're like, oh my gosh, I missed this menu, and there's things on there that are out of date, and I don't know, people have been looking at that. Chances are not very many people have noticed. However, people are getting clued in that this nice little services menu exists, and they do tend to look at it. So let's look at exactly what it is and what you can do to change it. So we're going to go over here to the settings area, and I'm just going to click on settings real quick. And that's going to take me to my page settings. And again, don't be distracted by the squirrels here on this particular page. There's all kinds of things that you can do, and it is an ever-expanding list of things that you can do within Facebook. But what I want you to focus on is the edit page, and then we're going to look at this particular set of choices. Now down here you'll actually see the menu, and you'll see the settings for the various tabs. Now this page, my Kim Beer Photography page, has been in existence for quite a while. It was actually the very first page that I put up on Facebook, and it's years old. I think it was created in 2009, if I'm not mistaken, which puts it up there in the number of years of existence on Facebook. So it's been around a while. And over that period of time, Facebook has done this, that, and the other thing with adding apps and changing the way they do all these things, the way they present your information. And over that period of time, lots of things have collected. So on my little menu list down here, you'll see Join My List and Pinterest. Those two things come from something called an app. Now, those apps were installed years and years ago when Facebook wanted you to have apps, and they used to appear, well, they've appeared in various places. I'm not even going to go there. So over time, they've all changed, and now in this particular incarnation of Facebook, this is where they land. And they're not default. The Join My List and Pinterest are not default. Most of the rest of these things, well, I think everything else other than those two things, are default options that you can choose to turn on for Facebook. for that little menu over to the left. Now, Facebook has designed a set of templates with default buttons and tabs that you can choose that are based on your business type so that you don't even have to do much thinking about what goes in this particular menu. So I'm going to click on edit and it gives me various templates. Now my current template is the standard one. And actually that's fine with me. I'm good to go with that because I've got some custom features on my page that I want to remain intact. And if I change to a different template, then it's going to change those features. Namely, the feature that I'm talking about is that little watch my video button that sits on my timeline cover. I really like that. Do I get a lot of views from it? But I like it. I like the thought that people can watch a video of my work when they come to my page for my photography business. So here under professional services, and by the way, that works no matter what business that you're in. Shopping, venues, politicians, restaurants. I mean, it's got all the different types of buttons and tabs that are designed to go along with whatever type of business you have. Now, you can just choose whatever template it is that you want to choose, and it'll set all of these things for you. Now, one thing I do want to tell you about is the shopping template right here. So shopping has a separate feature called shop. And that is your Facebook shop, or it can be a URL off of Facebook. Okay, but it typically points to your Facebook shop. I think it'll let you do an off one. If not, the little button on the timeline cover will. I'll get back to that in a moment. So if that was confusing, I will get back to it and make it clear. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. If you want to see details or choose a different template or see what it looks like, all you have to do is click on whatever one you want. I'm going to close out of that and I'm going to come down here to these tabs. So in this particular page, I don't ever hardly do events. So I probably don't want to even have the events tab even on. So it says events tab is visible. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. The same with notes. I don't need notes. I do have good reviews. I had one person that kind of, I don't think they understood the 1 to 5 because she gave me a huge compliment and then gave me 1 star. So I have 4.6 stars. That's a sad part of reviews. You can't do anything to change it, but I'm pretty happy with my review status. So I'm going to leave that on. I really don't even have any services listed on Facebook. So if I wanted to see what the default, what that's going to, I can right click and it's going to open my page here and see I don't have any services, but it would let me add one. So I can add services in and make that something that is almost like a mini website. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I also do not have a place for people to shop on my Facebook page. So I'm going to turn that off as well. So now we have come up here to the Pinterest one. And if I click on this, it goes and asks me to set up my Pinterest page. So I can right click, open in a new tab, and it's going to ask me to put in my Pinterest information. So here's what I know about social media marketing. When I set up this particular application, the Pinterest was a really popular getting started kind of thing. And I thought, well, as a photographer, that would be a really good place for my photography business. After all, it's visually based, right? Well, in typical, Pinterest doesn't do a lot to grow my photography business. It does something to grow my retail sales portion of the photography, but this page is dedicated to people who love horses, love horse photos, and want to hire me to come to their facility, or if they're a business, to hire me to do their photography or supply photography for their marketing. So Pinterest doesn't really apply here. So I'm going to go and I don't want it, but I have nowhere on this particular page to say I don't want Pinterest on here any longer. Here's the key. I have to go turn it off in my apps page. So I'm going to close out of these two windows that I opened. I'm going to just check my other information here. posts, videos, photos about all of those things are great. I do recommend that you update your about frequently, and that is slated for an upcoming Make It Happen Monday, is rewriting your about section and getting it updated across all your social platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and close this little window out here, and everything on here is done. So I'm going to go back to my page and just check and make sure that those tabs that I turned off are off. Whoop, they're still on. So let's go. This is the fun of recording live. Back to edit page and settings. We want to go off. Oh, there we go. I forgot to hit save because it was down underneath my underneath where my window was. So services off, save. If you are a service business, it is a good idea to put those in, and I probably will go back, but in the interest of time for this recording, I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. All right, perfect. You can reorder these, by the way, so if you want the reviews to show up higher or the number of likes, maybe you're really happy with the number of likes that you have, or you want your Join My List. Join My List, by the way, is an app as well. And you do need to check these. So I'm going to check on that one real quick. Yep, it goes to the right place. I can tell already. I'm good to go there. So we're great. So now all I really want to do is I want to get rid of this Pinterest app. So I'm going to go back to my settings. And then I'm going to go down here to apps. I'm going to click on apps. And I'm just going to remove that app. Take it off. Yes, I'm sure I want to remove it. Really not a necessity for me to have that. So now I'm going to go back to my page, and Pinterest is gone from the tabs because I removed the app. So you may run into that when you get into your Facebook page and you start through this process. You'll see things that maybe you've installed over the years. The older and the longer you have been, the older your page and the longer you've been utilizing it on Facebook, the more of those strange things you may have that appear in this list. But now my little menu looks much better. It's tighter. It's easier to deal with. I even have a little manage tabs button because there's not so many of them. And I can click right here to manage those tabs directly from this particular menu. So now I'm all set up and good to go. And wish you a blessed week this week. Oh, I wanted to point out this video thing up here. I did want to tell you about that. If you have a shop that is off of Facebook, if you have a shop that is off of Facebook and you want to put a go shopping button on here, this is the place to do it. If you have a shop that is on Facebook, then you definitely want the tab over here to the left. So anyway, go check your tabs, or menu. I like the word menu because menu is kind of what that is. It's sort of a navigational item. Go look at it, go check it out, see what's on your page. Don't kick yourself if there's something on there that's out of date or that's going nowhere, like my little Pinterest tab was. Chances are nobody's seen it or clicked on it. But go ahead and clean it up so in the future, if somebody does drop by, you have it nice and clean and they can go where they need to go inside of your Facebook world to get the information on your business that they need to get. Have a blessed and wonderful, productive week and get out there and make it happen.